Hello Goldies, and welcome back to my channel. I am back with another video. Now, as you know, my video production has been very scarce lately, which I do apologize for. So today's video is going to be just updating you guys on what's going on, showing you a couple of things to kind of keep it coloring and journal related, but there's also going to be another thing in this video that's going to be very different than what I normally do on this channel. But it's a journey that I'm undertaking that I wanted to share with you guys and let you know how I'm doing with that. But anyway, let's just kind of get into the update a little bit. So I've been super busy with Lions Club stuff. I took over being president of our Lions Club in July, and we have a pretty big, very active club. So as president, I have to do a bit more. So I have to run the meetings, and then we have a lot of projects we do, so I have to make a showing for that. So it's been really busy with that. And then, you know, behind the scenes stuff, you have to kind of do some stuff when the meetings aren't going on and just try to make sure things are running okay and all that. So I've been super busy with that. And as I said, because we have a pretty big, quite active club, we do have a lot going on, so there's always something happening. Plus, I'm still very active within the on the district level with Lions Club, so that always keeps me busy too. So sometimes the time isn't my own, and there's things that I have to attend to. Number two is I've had the writing bug. So as you guys know, I write stories, and you guys know that I love to play my Sims game, and so the stories I write, we call it Simlit. And so basically what you do is, I have two blogs that I do. And so basically what you do is you write your story, and then you go into your Sims game and you take the pictures that you need to support your text. So you're writing your text, and then you have your pictures to illustrate your text with your Sims game. So the inspiration has really been striking lately, so I've been going with that because I know what it feels like to be in a writing slump, a writing funk. So I wanted to take full advantage of when the inspiration hits. And so because of that, and it does take some time, because of that, my video production has been slacking off. So I do apologize for that. Sometimes there's just not enough hours in the day, and trying to do both at once is really tough. So I need better time management skills. I'm not gonna lie, I need better time management skills. So, but I am back with this video because I feel like I've sorely neglected you guys, and I feel so bad for that. So that's really what's the two main things that's been keeping me busy. But there's been a couple of real life things that's been going on that's been really rough, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it, but I just, you know, there's been a couple of deaths that's happened recently that's been really rough to deal with. You guys know that Stephanie died. Our dear Stephanie in the coloring community, she passed away after Thanksgiving, and so, you know, there's still times that it still gives me a lot of pain over, because we were very close. We talked on the phone constantly. We colored together, and it just happened so quick. And, you know, there's still times I feel like I want to pick up the phone and call her, but you know, I have to stop myself because she's not here anymore. So sometimes, you know, there's some days that are better than others with that. So I still miss my Stephanie. Yeah. And then, as I said, we've had a couple of other deaths that's been really hard to deal with. One of them was a family friend. This guy I knew from since I was a little kid, and he. I guess he's had a lot of health issues and stuff, but he passed away a few weeks back, and so that was kind of a shocker. And then and this one is really tough, you guys. This one is really tough. The one that I'm gonna just say right now. My music teacher from school passed away recently, and we were more than just teacher and student. We were very close. She actually did a lot of personal help with me when I was in grade school. She was my personal aide, I guess you'd call it. Me being visually impaired, I need a little bit of extra oomph, and so she had that job for, you know, a number of years when I was in elementary school. And then she went on to teach music full time, and so she was my music teacher. But you know, we still spent a lot of time together, because we just did. It was a small school. We just did. And I'd go down to the music room and visit her every chance I got. So yeah. And after I graduated from high school and that, we kept in touch. We talked quite a bit, and we were, you know, I still considered her, probably my best friend. Well, other than my husband, you know, other than my husband, she was like my best friend. And it, you know, when I heard about that, I was like, oh. And I think I can talk about it now without actually crying on camera, because I had to do a couple takes of this video because I was getting a little bit emotional, and I hate crying on camera. So if my voice sounds a little rough, that's why, because it can still be really hard to talk about. So, but yeah, so that's been really rough, and so that kind of threw me for a loop. But we're trying to get back into the groove here, and life does go on, and she would kick my butt if I kept moping over her. So yeah, life goes on, and we got to do what we got to do, and all that good stuff. So anyway, back to our video. Well, actually, blah, blah. Spit it out here. I can't speak today. So back to what we're gonna do today. As you can see on the table, I do have these color it journals, which I did do a video on these. It's on my channel, and it's actually the video prior to this one, and I went into an in-depth review of these journals. I really love these journals. These are from Color It, which you guys know that they make wonderful coloring books, and so they've stretched into the journaling realm, and so we have these lovely journals that they sent me for review. So if you're interested in that, check out my video there. Just go to my channel, you'll be able to find it. And then also now I've not really been coloring much lately because, like I said, I've been writing a lot and then being real busy with the Lions Club and just trying to deal with like real life issues and stuff. But I did pre-order these 2 coloring books because there are, you know, several artists that I do enjoy, and I do want to try to get their books if I can. So this one here is Spirit Animals, and this one is by Hanna Karlzon. And I'm sure there's been a ton of flip throughs of this book on YouTube, but if you want me to, I will be glad to do a flip through. And then there is Flora by Maria Trolle. And these books are really just beautiful books. I'll just show you a couple of the pages in here. I've not colored in anything in here, but I did get these when they came out. I pre-ordered them, and so we have this book. But very nice paper, really beautiful designs that we know from Maria. And then Hannah's book is here, very nice end papers. It's hardbacked, so it's a really nice book. And then here are a few pages in here. And again, like I said, if you want me to do a flip through of it, I will do that, but you can find a lot of flip throughs of these books on YouTube. They've been out for a little bit, so they're not like brand spanking new, but they are kind of new to me because I've had them for a little bit, but haven't really done much with them. As I said, I haven't really been coloring very much, but hopefully that will change because I'm kind of getting into the coloring bug is wanting to hit me again. So, you know, as I said, trying to do the writing and the coloring and stuff all at the same time, it's tough, but like I said, I need better time management skills. So what I thought we would do today, after I talk about the different subject matter that I wanted to go through is, depending on how long this video is going to get, maybe we'll actually color today, do a little bit of color and chat, so old school style. So we'll see what happens if this video isn't too long. Another thing too is another reason that videos have been scarce is my internet has been just really crappy lately. It's been slow. When I did the video of these journals, it was like a 15-20 minute video, and it took like 4 hours to upload. So it's really been bad, guys. It's been bad. So anyway, I'm having to probably gonna have to take to uploading things in the middle of the night because a 4-hour upload speed of a 20-minute video is just totally ridiculous. So yeah, all right, enough of my rant. Enough of my rant. All right, so today, before we actually do some color and chat, if we can get to it today, well, first of all, let me show you the current fountain pens that I have filled up, because I do talk about fountain pens. That is another one of my interests. So I have this case here, and let me just show you what I've got here. And I don't remember what ink I have in these things because I'm really terrible at tracking, keeping track of what ink I put in what pen, which is bad, because I tend to use a pen until it's dry, then I clean it out, I flush it out, I put it away, I rotate to another pen, and then I end up putting a different ink in it. So this is my Sheaffer Snorkel. This is a rare color called Vermilion. And so a Sheaffer Snorkel is a vintage pen that uses a snorkeling filler to pull up your ink. And I'm not going to unscrew it or anything because I will have ink everywhere if I do that. But let me show you the nib on here. Okay. So it writes in a medium point. It's not a very fine point nib. So you do get some pretty good ink lay down with this one. But if you are used to a fine point pen, this may not be what you are after because it writes more of a medium. Okay, then next here I have this, I believe this is a TWSBI Classic, and I got this last year at the Pen Club. And this is what the nib looks like. I believe this one is also a medium. And this one writes very nicely, I will say. And then last but certainly not least is a really good pen. This is a Pelikan M800 limited edition. The model is the Pelikan M800, but this limited edition is called a Concerto. And let me just pull it up here closer so that you guys can see it. As you guys can see, there's music notes on it, and it has the first couple of bars to Ode to Joy, you know, Beethoven's Fifth, I believe, the Ode to Joy movement, which is the that one. You probably heard you probably know that tune very well, but that is that. And then it's just got some really nice detailing on it. And the cap is dark blue. And this is a medium point nib. Let me just show you the gorgeousness of that nib. So I am very fortunate to have this pen. It is one that I don't use very often because it is such a limited edition. You can find them occasionally, but you're gonna pay a pretty penny for something like this. So that is my, like, one of my Cadillac pens that I have, sort of it's kind of like, well, I called it my Cadillac pen, but it's like when you go to those old car shows, it's like the car that you only take out during special car shows to show around. This pen is like that. So those are the pens that I have inked up. So let me move my coloring books and my journals out of the way so that we can look at our table. Now today, the different thing that I'm going to talk about today, which I've never ever done this on my channel before, and this is a journey that I have started. I'm still very new to it. I have not been doing it for very long, but I wanted to share it with you guys. And if you want to hear more about it, I will definitely talk about it more. But I have made the plunge. I have bitten the bullet. I have jumped full for, you know, but with both feet. I have decided to do the keto diet, or do the ketogenic lifestyle, as a lot of people call it. So basically, if you're not familiar with what the keto diet is, and there's a ton more videos that can explain it a heck of a lot better than I can. So I'm not going to go into the full-blown detail of it or anything, because you can, if you're interested in it, you can look for better explanations than what I can do. But so in our American diet, we tend to eat a lot of carbs, like stuff like sugar and starches and all that stuff, and it's not really very healthy for you. So what the keto diet does is it converts your body over into burning fat instead of glucose, which you get from carbs. And it's a more efficient machine that way. It gives you more energy. It makes your body just basically run more efficiently. You lose weight because you're burning through the fat, your extra fat stores, rather than making the glucose from the carbs and burning through that. So how that happens is you're putting more dietary fat in there, like healthy fat, like avocados, like butter, like regular butter, not margarine, not vegetable oil, not any of that junk, because that's got the trans fats, which isn't good for you. But butter, coconut oil, a lot of people take MCT oil, olive oil, I think I might have said olive oil, cheese, cheese will do it. So you want to eat that, plus you want to do a moderate amount of protein. So the formula, I guess the magic formula is 70% fat, 25% protein, and 5% carbs. So you want to up your protein. You want to eat like, you can eat steak on it. You can have ground beef. Just don't put the bun, like you can have a hamburger, just don't eat it with the bun. Because you want to avoid as many carbs as you can. But be careful that you don't have too much protein, because that can throw you out of what's called ketosis. And you reach ketosis when when your body is burning fat instead of the glucose. And so what ketosis is you're producing ketones, which help you burn that fat. You want to avoid stuff like bread. You want to avoid stuff like starches, like corn, potatoes, definitely no potatoes. You don't want to have those yummy French fries at McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever. Definitely stay away from like refined sugar. Stay away from like milkshakes, like, like milk chocolate, all the good stuff. Stay away from that. But you can actually have some very, very nice stuff on keto. And you can actually make some sweets on keto. You just have to substitute stevia for, the sugar. And what I've also done is in my cappuccino, I used to use 2% milk. Well, that stuff is loaded. A cup of 2% milk has, I believe, 16 grams of carbs in just 1 cup of 2% milk. So I switched over to putting almond milk in my cappuccino, which has 1 gram of carbs. And I've cut out all of the, I'm not eating potatoes. I'm not eating bread. I've cut out my pasta, which, oh my gosh, that's going to hurt because I love my pasta. But if you want to have pasta, you can get stuff like shirataki noodles and do it that way. So there are some very nice keto-friendly stuff that you can have. You just have to make some substitutions and kind of be mindful about what you're putting in your mouth and track all of your macros. Now, your macros is your macronutrients. And there are apps to help you do that. But that will kind of help keep you on track. Also, you can test for your ketone levels. So when you don't have to do this, because you can tell by the way you feel if you have reached ketosis. And you want to reach ketosis because that is what's gonna that's gonna tell you that your body is making the ketones so that you can burn through the fat. And the longer you stick with it, you will become what's called fat adapted, which basically your body is definitely used to burning the fat instead of the glucose. So you want to keep with it. Some people will say it's a temporary thing. Some people will actually change it over to a lifestyle. And I would, if you're gonna do it, definitely do your homework, definitely do your research, because there are some health conditions that you don't want to, like if you have bad kidneys or something, you don't want to do keto because I guess it can mess up your kidneys. If you're a type 1 diabetic, you have to be really careful. So if you've got concerns with that, definitely do your homework. But the bottom line is, I don't have kidney disease. I don't have liver disease. I'm not a diabetic. I do have hypertension. I do have hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, whatever the heck you want to call it. But the bottom line is that I am doing it. I'm not going to do it. I am doing it. And I wanted to kind of share with you guys how I'm doing it. So I started it officially Monday. And so this past Monday, today is Thursday. no, today is Friday, September 12th. Today is Friday. So I officially started this on Monday, the 8th. And I started it at my dinner time. Let me tell you how I decided that I was going to do this. Now, I have put on a few pounds over the years due to some surgeries and the hypothyroidism and all that kind of crap, you know. So I'm not as slim and trim as I used to be when I was younger, and I tried everything to take off this weight. I killed myself on the treadmill, couldn't take off the weight. I went down to just eating like cottage cheese and salad. That didn't do it. So I have tried pretty much just everything, and it wouldn't work. So I'm trying this and we're going to see how it goes. So what I did was Monday night, our choral group started up again. And so what we tend to do, because we have to, my husband has to take me, and so he gets home from work and then we head over to rehearsal. And so we tend to stop at Mickey D's to get our convenient sandwich and all that. So I used to have the Big Mac, but I decided to switch over to a grilled chicken salad. So I love a Caesar salad, but the Mickey D's that we went to didn't have the Caesar dressing. So I went with the grilled chicken salad with the ranch dressing. And so I did that. And then Tuesday, I had, instead of doing my cappuccino, I switched over to just regular espresso for that day because I didn't want to touch the 2% milk, because after what I read about how many carbs it had, I didn't want to touch that stuff. So and also in the morning, we would also have a piece of pastry from the bakery, from our local bakery. Well, I decided not to do that anymore. And so I cut that out and just had the espresso. And then for lunch, I made myself a couple of eggs with, cooked in some butter, tablespoon of butter. I did that. And then for dinner, I had a salad. I did iceberg lettuce with a bit of tuna, canned tuna. That's good for you. It's got your protein and it's got your fat. And I also put some a bit of shredded cheddar cheese on the top with some creamy Caesar dressing. And so that was my dinner. And then yesterday, Wednesday, and so what I did was I actually went on a 24-hour fast, because I had my dinner Tuesday night and I did not have anything except for my cappuccino with the almond milk in the morning. I did that. And then I didn't have anything food-wise until we had dinner last night. And so we went out because we had to go to, we went to my music teacher's wake last night. And so when we got done, we went to IHOP and I did the build your own omelet, and I had it with sausage and, what did I have? Sausage and bacon, I think, in it, with some cheese. And I got some extra cheese on it. It was really good, but let me tell you, it was so filling that I'm going to end up making like 3 meals out of it, because it was so rich and it was so good. But yeah. And I've also found that starting with this keto diet, like, I'm not as hungry as I used to be. And so I'm not eating as much food, and I'm not eating when I'm not hungry. Because let me tell you what, like, when I was putting a lot of carbs when I was putting a lot of carbs in Buddha here, and I'm calling it Buddha because when I gain weight, it goes right to my stomach, let me tell you. So when I was putting like a lot of carbs and stuff in there, I was constantly hungry. Like, I would eat, and then like 3 hours later, I'd want to eat again. And an example was last Saturday, we had a Lions Club thing to do. It was actually a veterans picnic called Operation Firm Handshake, and we have one in our town here. And so I was asked to sing the national anthem, so I did that. And then we had our Lions Club hearing screening unit, as well as our retina screening unit there to screen anybody that wanted to go through it. So I worked that, but I totally pigged out on, they had like 2 roasting pigs. They had roasted pig. So it was basically pork. I had a pork sandwich with baked beans, with this, they call it Mexican corn, but it's this like corn that's like really sweet and kind of spicy. And then there was mostaccioli, which I had a very good helping of because, like I said, I love my pasta. And I had my fair share of beer. And then after I ate that, I was hungry again. So I went back about probably 3 hours later, and I had more mostaccioli, I had more corn, I had some rice that they had. What else did I have? More beans. So I'm telling you guys, I mean, I was eating crap, and I was a total pig. I mean, I totally pigged out, and I'm going, this is freaking ridiculous. This is just not good. Not good at all. So I had started doing my research on the keto diet because I had been thinking about going on it. And after that little episode, I'm like, all right, I got to do something because this is not cool. So I started my keto Monday night, and like I said, I'm very, very new to it, so I've not been on it for very long. But let me just tell you how you can test for your ketones. This is probably more information than you guys want to hear. But you can test your ketones 3 different ways. You can do a urine strip, you can do a breathalyzer thingy, or you can go right to the source and test your blood. So the urine and the breath test are okay, I guess, in the beginning because the ketones that you produce will show up on your urine strip as well as the breathalyzer because you're producing like acetone and I forgot what the other one's called, but if you've been doing it for a couple of weeks, it's not gonna test on your urine strip because your body is becoming more efficient with going through the ketones and using them and stuff. But in the beginning, you're gonna pee ketones, you're gonna breathe ketones. So what you can do to test your urine is you can get these little urine strips. And I'm going to zoom in because I'm showing some stuff here. All right, so you can go to Amazon or you can go to your drugstore or whatever, and you can get these ketone pee strips. And what it looks like is it's got a little cap that you open up, and here is what the strip looks like. So what happens is you're going to, how this works is you're going to pee into a little cup, and you're going to dip this part into your pee, and if it turns purple, you are producing ketones. So on the jar, here is your little chart that you measure, okay? So this is negative ketones, this is a trace amount, this is a small amount here. This is like medium, this is large and extra large. So negative, you get trace amount, you get a smaller amount, you get kind of a medium one, this is large amounts of ketones, and this is extra large amounts of ketones. Now this, I believe, was pretty much made for diabetics to test to see if they're going into ketoacidosis or whatever. But this is, you can use this in probably the first couple of weeks during your keto diet because you will pee your ketones. But after that, once your body becomes more efficient, it's not as active, it's not as accurate anymore because your ketones aren't going to show up on your pee strip because your body is using them a lot better. And you're not producing the acetone, which is what measures on your ketone strip. So let me show you what I did here. Now I went ahead and to show you guys on this video here, I went ahead and tested mine earlier. So here is what mine looks like. Mine turned purple. Yeah, I measured between like here and here. Now yesterday I was here, like I did it yesterday, I was like right there, but I am between like here and here in my ketone levels, okay? So that, according to this pee strip, that's pretty good. So I am peeing ketones, which means that I have achieved ketosis, which means my body is getting used to burning the fat. It's still got a ways to go because I still have to get adapted, but it means that I am off to a good start. Now, I don't have the breathalyzer thing because I don't think it's worth it to do. I got the pee strips, which these will cost, the pee strips will cost like between $7 and $10. Pretty inexpensive, but again, just keep in mind that when you've been on the ketogenic diet or living the ketogenic lifestyle for a while, it's not going to register. So if you're going to test your ketones, now you do not have to test, it's not mandatory, but a lot of people like to test because it keeps them accountable. It kind of tells you, if you're in a, how much of ketosis you're in, that kind of thing. But it's not mandatory because you can actually feel, if you listen to your body, you can actually tell by the way you feel if you have reached ketosis. Now, the most accurate thing that is recommended is to test your ketones in your blood. And please pardon my nails, they look really awful. I've not gone back to put my acrylics back on, so we deal with what we got here. So this is a ketone meter, and this is from Keto-Mojo. Now, I will link everything in the description section. I'll put Amazon links in the description section so you can check it out, everything you're gonna need, as well as the 2 coloring books and stuff. So now it does come with, let me just open it up, it does come with your ketone meter, and you get ketone testing strips, and you also get glucose testing strips because you can test your blood sugar, okay? And it also comes with your lancing device because you do have to poke your finger. You are gonna have to poke your finger to test because it is a blood test. And then it comes with 10 lancets. You got your little needles in there. And when you're starting out with a new set of ketone strips, you have a little calibrator because you're going to have to calibrate it. So what this does is it has a number on the little strip here, as well as the vial. It comes with 10 ketone test strips, and it comes with 10 glucose test strips. I also bought some extra ones. I bought some extra glucose testing strips as well as some ketone strips. Now, it can get, when you're testing for your ketones, it can get a little expensive because the strips, to get 50 strips, it's going to cost like $49. So it's basically like 99 cents to test your ketones. The glucose ones, you can get 50 of those for like $14. So be mindful of that if you want to actually test your ketones because the strips can get a little pricey. But with this unit, the strips are pretty reasonable, really. There's other units that you can get, and the strips are like $4 or $5 a piece. So this is a little bit more cost effective, I think. But anyway, you can test your blood to determine what your ketosis level is. Like, now the optimum is if you are in 0.5, they say that if you're in 0.5 up to 1.5, you're in like mild ketosis. If you are, or if you're like 0.5, yeah, 0.5 up to like 1.4, you're in mild ketosis. If you go from like 1.5 to say like 3, then you're at optimum levels. Anything higher than that, you want to be careful because then you're, now for ketoacidosis, like for diabetics, like you would measure like 10 or 12 ketones. So, if you're measuring like 4 or whatever, just kind of be careful. It just kind of means you're like putting your body into starvation mode. So be careful. But the optimum is like 1.5 to 3. But if you're like at 0.5 up to like 1 to 1.5, you're in mild or whatever. So, like I said, there's other videos that you can watch to explain it a lot further. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys how we do this. Okay. So if you don't want to do the urine strip and if you want to get right to the chase. Now, how this is going to work, and I've already calibrated it, but let me just show you how this works. So you put your little chip to test your ketones, you put your little chip into the meter, okay? And it's checking. And it's saying 679, which is the number on the ketone test strips that I have. So I'm going to put that away. And I'm going to go ahead and get my ketone strips out. And we're going to test some ketones and some blood sugar. Now, as a little warning, I am going to be poking my finger, so we are going to be seeing blood. So if you're a little bit squeamish about that, you know, just note that you might not want to watch that. So what we are going to do, I'm going to take that thing out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a lancet and we're going to put it in our little lancing device. Let me get where we can see. So yeah, if you're just interested in the coloring and journaling or whatever, you can just skip this part and you don't have to listen to me jabber about ketosis or ketones or keto or whatever. But I did say that we do some different stuff on this channel, and I did want to share this with you guys because I think this is very important, and I'm actually quite excited to be doing this. So we're going to take this little lancet and we're going to spin this part off. Now be very careful because it does have a little needle on there and it's sharp. And you don't want to poke yourself unless you are poking your finger. So we're going to put the needle in the little lancet device. Oops. Okay. We're going to do that like so. And then we are going to twist this back on. Twist it. And then there is a little meter thing on here that you can adjust, and this gives you the depth of your poking. Like you can turn it to this one, and it will give you a deeper poke in your skin, or you can turn it to this one and you just get like barely a touch. I find to make myself bleed, I put it to the next to the last one because you are going to need quite a big drop of blood to do this. I actually ruined one of my test strips because I didn't get enough blood on it. So I kind of learned my lesson. So anyway, we are going to take now, I have washed my hands. Okay guys, I had to go get my little alcohol swabs because you want to make sure you clean off your finger and stuff. You know, keep it clean, you filthy animal. You know, keep things clean because you are actually poking your finger. You are actually drawing blood. This is what the box looks like for the testing meter, Keto-Mojo. You can get that on Amazon. The meter itself costs 59 bucks. You get 10 lancets, plus you get your both kinds of testing strips. You get the 10 lancets, and you get the meter. So anyway, we are gonna go ahead and test some ketones. And we're going to test some glucose. So we're going to take an alcohol swab, and I'm going to clean off my finger. So, and I also wanted to show you guys this too because, like if a half blind, like legally blind, like, you know, low vision person can do this, then anybody can do this. And I'm not one to flinch away from poking my finger or anything. I have been through much worse. And you know, you do what you got to do. So we're cleaning. I'm gonna do the side of my finger because if you do your fingertip, there's more nerve endings there and it can hurt a bit more. Plus when you go to use your hand during the day, then you're going to feel it. So I'm just doing the side of my finger, and I'm going to grab a ketone strip. Okay, so we're going to open our little jar up here, and we're going to take a ketone strip like so. Oops. Okay. And make sure your hands are completely dry and make sure that they are clean because that will affect things. So then we're going to put it in our monitor, in our meter, and it's checking, as we can see. Oops, did it not do it? Let me see here. Okay, checking. Okay, this one here must be our glucose. I went ahead and put in the blood glucose one. It doesn't really matter which one you want to test first. It really doesn't, but so we'll go ahead and do our glucose first. Okay, and this meter will test both your ketones and your blood glucose, which I like because I wouldn't want to have to buy like 2 separate machines or anything like that to do this. So we're going to cock our gun, as we say, and I'm going to make sure that my setting is the way I want it. Make sure my setting is the way I want it. It is on that next to the last one, which is going to make me bleed. So we are going to put this up to my finger like so, and I'm not flipping you guys the bird, I promise. So just put it next to your finger and ready, aim, and fire. And then you want to squeeze, 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 because you're going to need a pretty big drop of blood because this meter is a pretty thirsty little guy. So that should be enough. And then you want to take your machine and we're going to put it next to the blood and it's just going to suck it up. Okay. And okay. And it's going to count down. It usually takes about 10 seconds. My blood glucose is 69, so that is wonderful. I've not had any food today, just my cappuccino. Now I'm going to take my swab and just kind of clean my finger off. Now some people will try to get a little bit more blood to do the next test, but I know for myself it kind of coagulates. So I'm going to have to poke myself again, which is fine. So that is our blood glucose at 69. Now I set mine to the grams per deciliter, whatever the heck you want to call it. You can do millimoles, which is what they do in Europe, but I choose to do the United States one because it's just easier for me that way. So we're going to go ahead and put our glucose testing strips away, and we're going to grab our ketone. Okay. And so this is our ketone test strip, and again, you're going to open it up, you're going to take one out, and we're going to put it in our meter. It's checking. And 679, which is the same number that we have on our vial. You want to make sure that they match up because that's how it calibrates. Okay. Now let's do our ketones. So here's our meter. We're going to cock back our gun, so to speak. And I'm going to put this up to the side of my finger once more. And we're going to poke. Okay, I'm not flipping you guys the bird. All right, ready, aim, and fire. And, oh, there we go. There we go. I tried to do this once before, and I was not getting enough blood. So it's going to read it. It's going to take about 15 seconds, 10 seconds. My ketone levels are at 2.7, so I am in pretty darn good ketosis. And now this is like the second take I've had to do with this because I was not bleeding properly. Like I couldn't get myself to bleed for this one, so I went and ran my hands under some warm water to get the blood to the surface, and then I made sure that my setting was in the right place. And I'm just going to clean my finger off. Okay, so that is how you test your ketones and your glucose. Now again, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it because it kind of keeps me accountable, and it tells me just kind of where I am at, like what level of ketosis I am in. And I'm going to use one of those journals that I showed you guys as my keto notebook because I want to try to keep myself on track as much as I can. So 2.7, which means, these ketone levels are pretty high because the optimum is like 1.5 to 3. And so 2.7 is darn good. So that is how you test. And you want to clean up your mess when you are done, obviously. So I'm going to put my test strips back into my little case. If you guys are interested in seeing like more of a vlog on this, let me know because I can kind of go into a little bit more detail with this. And when you're done with your Lancet, you want to take it out of your machine or your pen and dispose of it because you don't want to use them repeatedly because that's not healthy. But let me know if you guys want to hear more about this and if it's something that you're interested in learning more about. Again, if you're thinking of doing it, do your research because it's not for everybody. And if you have some health concerns, like some kidney disease or something like that, just talk it over with your doctor or do your homework and see if it's going to be right for you because it's not for everybody. But I'm doing it, and the just short amount of time that I'm doing it, I'm seeing results because I got to tell you, I'm feeling so much better. when I would eat like all that other crap before, like all those heavy carbs, I'd want to go and take a nap after I ate. Like it'd be like, oh, roll me off onto the sandbar so I can sleep for about a week. But since I've been doing this, I've not been wanting to eat as much. I've not been wanting to eat as often, and I have high energy level. Now they also say that you will notice your mental awareness being sharpened, like your cognitive performance being sharpened and so forth. I've not noticed it yet because I've not been on it for that long, but I'm expecting to see results of that. Now I kind of had, they say that when you do this also you can have what's called the keto flu, meaning that as your body kind of learns to adapt to this way of doing things, you're gonna have like carb withdrawals. So you're gonna feel kind of like you've got a bit of the flu. Like you can feel nauseous, you can feel headachy, you can just feel kind of just fatigued and just icky. I've had it kind of mildly. Now maybe the other shoe is gonna drop where it's gonna hit me in a couple of days, but so far so good. I've had it mildly, like I had it maybe just a little bit this morning, but I'm okay now. Like I feel great. I gotta tell you, I feel great. So I'm expecting some great results on this. And so, yeah, I will let you guys know how it's going. And if you want to hear more about it on this channel, definitely let me know. Yeah, so I'm going to go and see how long this video is, and maybe we'll come back and do some coloring. Alrighty then, so we are back, and we're going to start a picture in this book here. This is called Easy Flower Mandalas, an adult coloring book, and it's just a book I picked up kind of recently, I guess. I've had it for a little bit, but it's sort of new, but not new. I think I picked it up in May or something, but it was just a one I got off of Amazon. It's just got like little, well, it's like it says, it's Easy Flower Mandalas. So I thought we would just go ahead and start one of these. We'll go ahead and work on this page, and we will color out of this case, which I have some Castle Art supply pencils. I've got some Micadors, and I've got something else I forget. But just some budget-friendly pencils that we're going to go ahead and use in this. We'll see how they work in this Create Space page on this paper. And I'm going to also do my little disclaimer that I am visually impaired, so sometimes you are going to probably see my head in the way. I will try to minimize that as much as possible, but it cannot be helped. But we'll try to minimize that as much as possible. And yeah, so anyway, we'll do a little bit on this mandala and see how we get. Anyway, so most of this video was me talking about going keto, and yeah. And like I said, there were some real life issues that we've had to contend with, and that was kind of rough, you know. Let me tell you, that was kind of rough. All right, so I need a little bit more room on this table. Okay. All right. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is doing well and feeling fine. I am doing pretty well, you know, except for the stuff to contend with, but you know, we deal with what we must. And we soldier on. There's really no choice, you know. There's what can you do? You can't change it. But you know, you always think that you're going to have more time with someone, and it never, you know. And then when something happens, you know, you feel bad because, you know, you kind of wish that you could have said this to him or that to him, or, you know, told him one more time you loved him, and, you know, that last phone call, maybe, you know, that last phone call that you thought you might do and you never did get to. So this is a Castle Art pencil that I'm using, Castle Art Supply, and actually I've had this set for quite a while, and I haven't really done too much with it. And we'll see how rusty I am with this coloring because it seems like eons ago that I have actually colored. Now hopefully I'm not going to have to sharpen any pencils or erase anything because I didn't bring my accessory bag in here with me. So we'll just have to see what we can do here. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing okay. Boy, yesterday was a hot one, weather-wise. It's been pretty cool lately, but yesterday it was it really spiked up, and man, it felt like a sauna. It felt like a sauna. No joke. But today's a little cooler. Today's a little cooler, but it's still a little muggy. Still just a bit muggy, but you know, it's a lot better than it was yesterday. So I hope everybody's keeping cool or enjoying some nice weather. I hope that is the case. Like I said earlier, it's been just real busy with Lions Club stuff and me doing my stories. I will put in the description section, I think I might have them there anyway, but I'll make sure that I have the blogs there so you guys can see if it's something you're interested in. My stories are mostly romance with like some fantasy elements, you know, supernatural romance, but I've kind of been, in one of my stories I kind of got like I had a mystery kind of going on, like there was some stuff going on and you had to kind of keep them guessing as far as like what was happening. We kind of know what's happening now, but one of my characters is in like some real hot water. You know, she's in a bit of a pickle. And we just don't know how yet, how she's going to get out of it. We had to up Caleb's Rimadyl because his arthritis is getting worse. Poor guy. He's like 12 and a half now, but he's pretty gimped up on arthritis, and so we've had to up his Rimadyl. And we've also got him on glucosamine, which kind of helps make the Rimadyl more effective, you know. That was recommended that we give that to him. We got him on it. But, you know, all in all, he's doing okay. Just can't move as well or fast as what he used to, but he's still got quite a bit of life in him. No lie about that. No lie about that. He's still very sweet. He gives a bunch of kisses and stuff. Yeah. Not really too much else to say that I haven't covered already. I don't want to talk about the same things like over and over, but yeah, you guys let me know if any of you are doing keto, or if you have tried it and if you liked it, if you had results on it, or if it's something that you tried and you're like, oh, I hate this, I don't like it, you know. Was it something that you tried and you found results with, or was it something that you tried and you just couldn't handle it, or just didn't work for you, or if you've got like a health issue where it, or if you got like a health issue where it won't do much for you, or it would be hazardous to do it, you know, with the particular health condition. Okay. So I pick a book with bigger spaces when I do this Color Gab because it's just easier to do on camera so you guys can see properly, and so that hopefully my head isn't in the way too much. So, you guys can tell me also, have you gotten any new supplies, any new books? Yeah, the only thing coloring related I got lately was those 2 books that I showed you guys in the beginning of the video, the Hanna Karlzon book and the Trolle book. And I haven't gotten any new supplies lately. I've been trying to cut back. I mean, the thing of it is like I am running out of storage room. I really am. I'm running out of storage room. And also, I need to use what I've got, you know. I know you guys love my haul videos, and I will keep doing them, but they're just, I don't think they're not going to come about as often as what they used to, because well, we're trying to cut back on what we're spending, because I still have yet to get my sanctuary room up and going. We've had some other stuff that we've had to do. So we're trying to cut back, so hopefully I can, sometime in my lifetime, get that room done. That would really be nice. Then I won't have to film here on my kitchen table anymore, which will be super nice, and I can get better lighting. Because where I sit to color now, or to film this, I mean, I color for myself like I color on my bed. But like when I do this stuff in here with you guys, I can't really put an out light or anything in here because where I'm sitting, I'm not close to any kind of wall outlet or anything. You would have to get an extension cord and snake it all across the room. And then, you know, after I was done, that I'd have to unhook it and take it down. Very inconvenient, to be honest. So when I film this stuff, I try to get it during the time of day where eyesight for me is most optimal. I can't really do this at night because the natural light doesn't come in because it's dark, and then it makes it hard for me to see. And I've tried to do it on my bed a couple of times, but I just can't get at the right angle where my head is out of the way. So, that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yes, indeedy. Okay. So I don't think we'll get the whole picture done because I was looking at the time on the video and it was already getting long. I was jabbering a lot about keto. I was jabbering a lot about keto. And I hope I explained it well. I'm not a medical professional, and there's so many more videos and stuff and more people that can explain it a lot better than I can. More succinctly and such. But hopefully you kind of get the gist of it if you don't know what it is. But I'm excited to be on it. I really am. I've not really been this excited about going on any particular diet because they're usually pretty restrictive, and this one is too. You know, no kidding, it really is. Because you have to keep all those carbs down. Consume as little of that as possible. But some of these other diets, like they would have, oh, you can only eat like such and such vegetable, and you got to have like a bunch of fruit, which I'm not a fruit eater, and there's only certain vegetables I like, honestly. I could never stand to be a vegetarian or a vegan. No way, no way. So I commend those of you that can handle living that kind of lifestyle, but not for me. So I mean, you know, it is restrictive, but you can eat some really nice stuff on this. It's not like you're confined to, I mean, you are confined, you are restricted, but you can find substitutes. You can find substitutes that will make it worth your while. Now there's so many people, so many videos that say, oh, only eat grass-fed stuff, like only eat grass-fed beef or organic this or organic that. And that's all fine and good. If that's what you want to do, great. But that can get expensive. But you can do keto on, if you're just an average working person, if you're just an average Joe or Jane, you can do keto without having to break the bank. I am new at it, like I said, but I am living proof that you can and do reach ketosis with just eating regular stuff from your grocery store. Like, you know, we bought a package of chicken breasts, which I'm going to make a chicken and broccoli thing, casserole thing, chicken, broccoli, and cheese casserole next week. I'll either do it over the weekend or I'll do it next week. I think hubby's going to barbecue steaks tonight. He usually gets these New York strip steaks, and instead of eating the whole thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half of it away, I think, and eat half and have a salad with it. And tomorrow or something, I will make myself some steak and eggs with it. Because that would sound pretty good, doesn't it? Steak and eggs? How does steak and eggs sound? How does steak and eggs sound? Because that would be quite keto friendly. But actually, like I was saying earlier, like I haven't really been all that hungry. Like, since I've been doing this, I haven't wanted to eat near as much or as often. Now, when I shut the video off after, you know, before I started this coloring, I went and had a chunk off my omelet that I was telling you guys about that I got last night, that I split up to have some for later. And I had a chunk off my omelet, and I'm feeling very full. I'm feeling very, very, very full. And actually, if the full feeling keeps going on, which it probably will, because it has, I may just have very little of my steak tonight. Because you don't need to stuff yourself. Like, you don't need to eat until you feel like you're going to explode. Because let me tell you, this curbs your appetite. Like, I've been struggling with, well, like I told you, when I was at that picnic last Saturday, like, I went and ate, and I pigged out, and then it was probably about 3 hours later, I went back for some more. Like, I was hungry. Like, I was hungry, but it was like you ever get like the munchies where you just want to, well, I know you know what the munchies is like, but I didn't have the munchies like for chips or, you know, Doritos or anything like that. I just wanted to eat more food. I just wanted some more food to eat. That's what I wanted. And I've been struggling with that. Like, I've been struggling with just constantly feeling hungry, even though I would eat a good amount of food, you know, too much actually. I would eat too much, to be honest. To be very honest, I would eat just way, 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 way too much. But then, you know, not long after, then I'd feel hungry again, and then I'd want to eat some more. And you know, that's not good if you're trying to lose some pounds. But since I've been doing this has been like the best appetite suppressant. Now, I've been downing the water like crazy because when you're doing keto, you have to be careful because you can tend to get dehydrated, because for the first week or so, you're going to pee out a lot of water. You're going to pee out the water, I guess, that's stored in your glucose cells that your body is trying to get rid of. So you're trying to get rid of your stored glucose, which has water in it. So you're going to pee out a lot of that stuff. So you need to keep yourself hydrated. So I've been downing the water like crazy, and I still don't drink nearly as much as I probably should, like with the, what is it, 8 ounce glasses of water. That's like 64 ounces. I don't drink nearly that much, but I should. I should, but I don't. I should, but I don't. So I drink, I'll drink it like if I'm feeling thirsty. Obviously, I'll drink it when I gotta take my meds. And then I have a SodaStream bottle that I keep water in, so I keep it by my nightstand so I can have some at night. Or if I'm at the computer, I'll take it and put it on my desk. And then I can have it there. So I'm using these Castle Art pencils. They're doing okay on this paper. They're kind of a soft pencil, but the color is coming out. So anyway, what's everybody got planned for your weekend? I hope you guys are going to have a nice weekend. I don't have anything planned, thank goodness. Like, we've had the last couple of weekends, we've had stuff going on, and I just get so tired of having to go this and 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 this. This constant running around just kind of gets to me at times. It's like, oh, can't we just have some quiet time at home? But our choral group started up last Monday, so I have rehearsal Monday. And then we have a Lions Club meeting on Thursday. And I think that's it, at least as far as I know. I'll probably work on my stories and see what I can color, Yep. Oh. We'll see what we can get done here. Okay. I gotta kind of keep an eye on the time, because otherwise this video is gonna get really long. I guess for some of you like that, but boy, it's a pain in the butt to upload. So we'll see what happens. We'll try to get this outer layer done, and then maybe we'll call it quits. It'll be kind of a shorter Color and Gab, but maybe not really. Maybe not really. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe if I hold the pencil like this, you guys can see it a little better. So, you guys can tell me what you're up to. How's things been going? Yes, I am still a pencil hoe. I will always be a pencil hoe. Although, like I said, I haven't gotten any new supplies lately because I really need to use what I have. One thing I do want to get, though, is I would love, and this is going to cost quite a bit of money. One of these days, I would love to get the full set of the Caran d'Ache pastel pencils. I like pastel pencils. And Caran d'Ache makes some really good stuff. It's expensive as all get out, but It is good quality. I know from my Luminance pencils and my Pablo pencils are nice too. But I love my Luminance. Not on this kind of paper, but I do love my Luminance pencils. And I haven't colored with my Holbeins lately either. Like, well, I mean, I haven't colored much lately at all, to be honest. But I haven't touched my Holbeins in a while. Those are used very sparingly because they are expensive and because they are a little bit harder to come by. Meaning that to get open stock ones, you have to go to eBay. And I'm assuming you can still do that with the tariffs going on, boy. You know, I don't know how much of that. Well, I mean, it comes from Japan. You know, there's no tariffs on Japan, but it's crazy. I don't want to get into the whole political scene or anything, but it's just, there's always something going on. I will just say that. There's always something going on. And if you listen to the news, you don't really hear happy news. Like, you hear controversial stuff. You hear, you know, about shootings. You hear about robberies. You know, that's all you hear about in the news. Very depressing. Very depressing. On that note, tell me something funny that happened to you guys today. Tell me something funny that happened. I can't say anything funny happened to me today, like, you know, nothing like real funny happened, but, you know, except for the Golden Boys, you know, they're always doing something. But that's an everyday thing, you know, they're always doing something. But, you know, going back to the days when my teacher and I were together, and you know, this is before she was doing music full time. Like, she'd do the elementary music and stuff, but you know, when she was spending a lot of her time kind of helping me out, I think I was in like 2nd grade, 3rd grade maybe. And in our math books, like, we always had this, it was like once a week, we always had this orange page, and it was like some kind of review thing. And, and I'm sitting here laughing just thinking about it because it's so ridiculous, but, there was this one problem, and there was a bunch of penguins standing there. There was a bunch of birds, and I think they were penguins, if memory serves me correctly. And so the question was, and for these problems, you had to kind of fill in the circle, you know? There was a circle for the choice that you had to fill in. And so the question with these birds were, find the second bird. You had to, because, you know, it wanted you to learn like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th or whatever. And it was all, like I said, it was all review, you know? And, it was like, find the second bird, and we just started to laugh, and it's like, oh my gosh, how dumb do they think we really are, you know? And so, you know, Marianne, she was like, who cares? And, you know, we'd get on the phone and jibber jabber, you know, and you know, we did that pretty regularly. They travel quite a bit. Like, after she retired, though, they traveled quite a bit, so it was kind of hard to sometimes it was hard to catch her. So, you know, you just have to kind of leave her a message, you know. Sometimes she'd call back, sometimes I'd end up calling her back, like, you know, maybe a week or so later, you know, and she'd tell me all about her travels. But anyway, we'd be on the phone talking, and I think I grabbed the wrong pencil. I'm like doing purple with green here. Oh, goodness me. Oh, well. Anyway, so she'd tell me all about her travels, and, but we'd get on the phone, and, you know, we'd kind of get in the mood to laugh, and I'd say, "Hey, Marianne, find the second bird." We would just bust up, and she'd be like, "Who cares?" Oh. But I will always remember that. And then there was another time where I think I was in like 4th grade or something, and there was this like math packet that we had to do, and neither one of us are math people, you know. We both had to take idiot math because we were not math people. And so we just got real punchy one day, and we were doing this math thing, you know. It was like a bunch of stapled papers, you know, with math crap on it, you know. And I don't know, we just got so punchy, and we would just laugh at the darndest things. We would just laugh. Oh my gosh, we would howl, and oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. But she played the piano for my wedding. She and I picked out like every stitch of music, and you know, we put it together, and we had some good times. Had some very, very, very good times. So that's what I have to remember, you know, try not to, ooh, and I went over the line here. So that's what I got to try to focus on, because otherwise, you know, otherwise it won't be pretty. But when I was in school and, you know, got into junior high and high school and stuff, we would do, we'd do what's called solo and ensemble contest. And this is where it happened like once a year, and it would happen at either some school. Sometimes it actually happened at Milliken, which is where I went to college. And so basically what that is if like you're in band or chorus or choir or whatever, you could you practice a solo piece, or if you're in a group, you practice your duet or your ensemble or whatever. That's why they call it solo and ensemble. But you would either do a solo, or you could be in a group or whatever, either vocal or instrumental, you know, depending on which one you're in. You could do both if you wanted, if you were in both of them. And you prepare for it, and you play it in front of this judge who evaluates your performance. And you get, like I said, you get evaluated, and you can get a first, which is the best score. You know, you can get a second, and you can get a third. I think it goes all the way down to fifth, but you'd have to be pretty bad to get fifth. You're not playing against anybody or anything, like you're not competing against anybody. It's just the way it was scored. You know, you're kind of competing with yourself, I guess. And they judge you on how you did in your performance. And so we would do that every year. And she would always play the piano for accompaniments and stuff. She and another lady would do that. And the only time I ever got a second, I usually got a first. The only time, I think one time, I only got 1 second, and that was when I moved schools the second half of my junior year. And
I was singing with a group of girls, and we didn't really mesh well together. Like, we didn't sing well together, I guess. Didn't really mesh. And so the judge gave us a second. But, you know, I did my part. I did what the team needed, you know. We were a team. We were a team. We get the second as a team. But for the solos, like, I would always get a first. I would usually get I would usually either get a perfect score or like 1 point away from a perfect score. But that was the only second I ever got, was with that group. And I had a different music teacher then, because obviously I went to a different school. She was very nice too. She was very nice too. I liked her a lot, but no, she wasn't Mary Ann, that's for sure. That is for sure. But she's very nice. I liked her a lot. Okay, I think that this outside is done. We got the inside circle done. So I think that is going to be all for our Color and Gab today. I don't know how long it went for because I wasn't timing it, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, all of it. You know, even if you skipped over the keto part, you know, that's fine. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the Color and Gab. I hope you guys enjoyed the, you know, just seeing a video back, because it has been a while. With the exception of the color it journals that I did last week, I think it was. So, but anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and of course hit the notification bell so you can be notified right away when a video comes up. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you all later. Okay, bye my little goldies.